Welcome to our candidates and welcome to our audience. We know you're out there. We can't see you, but we know you can see us, and thank you for joining us this Friday night. My name is Linda McMichael, and I'm a member of the League of Women Voters of Butte County. We are here tonight for the candidate forum for the Oroville Elementary School District. The League of Women Voters has over 700 chapters in every state in the United States and beyond, and a 100-year history of promoting democratic engagement. While we do not endorse parties, political parties or candidates, we passionately believe that candidate forums are essential to the democratic process, and that is why we are here tonight. Our chapter is the League of Women Voters of Butte County, and we are very happy to be here to help Oroville and to serve you in any possible way. Oroville, we care about you deeply. We know you've gone through a lot, and it is our pleasure to be here to host this forum for you. A mere 25 days remain until election, so we better get started. The Oroville Elementary School District Board has 5 members. There are 3 positions open. There are 6 candidates, and there are 3 of those candidates here tonight. So let's get started. The format is that you will each have 2 minutes opening, 2 minutes to answer the questions. There are 5 questions, and 2 minutes to close. We randomly selected the order, and our first person will be Sharon Miller, and you have 2 minutes for an introduction.
Good evening, everyone. I just first, of course, want to thank the League of Women's Voters for putting this on. It's incredible what you guys do to make sure that we have informed voters and everyone has access to as much information as possible about the candidates, the issues, everything else. To the candidates here tonight who took their time to be here, that's awesome. That's great of you guys. I respect both the members on the board now and the people who are trying to be on the board come November. I know it's a difficult task with a lot of criticism, and I respect that position and I take it very seriously. My name is Sharon Miller. I have a son who is a 1st grader at Oroville Elementary, and I have a 2-year-old who will be there in a couple years. So I have a very vested interest in what goes on upcoming with our district. And I also have my wife. We've been married for 6 years, and she is a substitute teacher at Oroville right now. She's working on her teaching credentials. So my entire life is attached to this school district. I think it's important to be involved. I've been involved since we moved to Oroville almost 2 years ago now. I'm a member of the Lake Oroville Little League Board, and I would like your vote to be on the Oroville City Elementary School Board. I am a combat veteran of Iraq. I was there in 2009, and I have worked in security, and I most recently work in mental health. I do crisis management and intervention for people with mental and developmental disabilities, along with alcohol and drug abuse. And I just thank you all for being here and for listening to what we have to say.
Thank you. Ms. Barnes, you are next.
Thank you for having me. I am a present incumbent. I currently sit as the vice president of the Oroville City Elementary School District. I have been on the board since 2014. I joined the board when both of my children attended Wyandotte Academy and were in need of services that were not provided at that time in the school district, or were severely lacking. As a result, I have worked on the SSC Council, plenty of the committees that have formed as a result of the necessity for safety, for social emotional learning, for curriculum, for across the board. I joined at the very tail end of the last recession, and was there to help guide the district through the dam collapse, the Camp Fire, the Bear Fire, and through this recent pandemic. I believe I'm the best candidate, or one of the best candidates, because of my experience, because of the forethought that have gone into all of the preparations that we have made in order to make sure that our kids are safe and well cared for. Thank you.
Ms. Nilsson?
Hello. I do want to say thank you to the League of Women Voters for organizing this forum, and thank you to Sandra and Sean for being here tonight. I know how valuable this is. I have been a Butte County educator for more than 15 years. I have been a school social worker, a student support specialist for Oroville high schools. I've been a substitute teacher and a manager for higher education. Currently, I'm a credential analyst with Butte County Office of Education. I monitor teaching credentials for all school districts in Butte County. I'm also an associate faculty member with Butte College. I teach future educators, and I have a master's degree in education. I am a parent of 3 young adult sons, and I was very active in their education. I'm married to a longtime local teacher, so I understand what high quality education should look like and how to achieve that for our students. I am passionate about education and supporting our students and school staff. I also understand what a stressful time this is for students, parents, and our dedicated school staff and teachers. We need to focus on safe and healthy educational environments for our students and school staff, and critically think about the challenges that might arise when we return to in-person learning. I see opportunities for growth and unity building within the district. I understand the importance of positive relationships between our schools and families. So by working together, we can provide the most well-rounded education for our kids. And I want to be a part of a school board that respects teachers, staff, parents, and students, and works collaboratively in decision-making with everyone.
Thank you. Ms. Barnes, you will be answering our first question. And our first question is, what do you like best and value most about education at Oroville Elementary School District?
What I like best about Oroville Elementary School District's education are 2 things. The first is the ability for the culture of the school district to embrace all kids, regardless of background, any kind of history that they might have. I was raised in a rural Alaskan school district where the building didn't matter about the education so much as the transfer of knowledge between one generation and another. I find that extremely valuable in our school district. The second thing that's just as valuable is the culture that is carried on through the educators and maintained through the administration and staff. Those are my 2 favorite things about Oroville City Elementary School District.
Thank you. Ms. Nilsson, you're next.
Well, I am very proud of the passionate teachers and school staff at Oroville City Elementary. My husband has been a teacher with the district for almost 30 years, and I have seen a strong evolution within the district. I've seen staff come and go, but by and large, the tenure is long. Our staff members are committed to the kids and their families in the district. I like that the district has supported technology growth in recent years with the adoption of Google Suite for education. Last year, all the classrooms received interactive screens and Chromebooks or other student devices, which obviously became invaluable during this distance learning time. I love the diversity of our student population and our community. I do value diversity, and I see diversity as a resource, as a strength and a benefit. And we can all learn so much from our differences and grow as human beings. So I value that about our students and our schools.
Thank you. Mr. Miller.
So the two things that jumped out to me right away were definitely the parents and the teachers. I've met some teachers who have been teaching for a very long time, and my history prior to this particular district is that the longer you're in education, you tend to get burned out, you get frustrated easier, you get shorter with your students, and I haven't seen that. The teachers that I've met, whether they are in their first or second year or their 20 or plus year history in the school district or even among other school districts, they're still so passionate about the kids' education. And that's such a vital thing, because if you can't get the teachers to be passionate, it's hard to relay the information that they're trying to teach. And I've also noticed that the parents are just as passionate. You know, working on the Little League board, I know that the parents of their little baseball players, they really care about what's going on in the classroom. They care about what's going on outside of the classroom, extracurriculars, what's available to them, what options they have for things outside of and inside of the school, what they're learning. And it's really been refreshing to see parents that care so much and teachers that care so much about our kids. And that makes me comfortable because, you know, I have one kid now who's in school and one kid who's going to be starting, and I wouldn't be very confident if everybody wasn't excited about education and what they're learning, and they all want to be involved. You know, at Ophir, I've met some great people who work in the PTO, and they work long, hard hours, and they have a lot of help when they need it, and it's just a great thing. And it's also a reflection of the city of Oroville. Everybody's hands-on and they work together.
Thank you. Ms. Nilsson, you'll be answering our next question first. And here is the question. The board operates under the authority of the California Constitution, the state legislature, the California Education Code, and the California State Board of Education. To the extent possible, what would be your top 3 priorities in your first term?
Well, my first priority is to ensure safe and healthy educational environments for our students and our staff. So I will engage the board and administration in thinking critically about the potential challenges that might arise when we return to in-person learning. I'm concerned about opening too soon. I do know how important schooling is for a child's social and emotional development, and I know how difficult this is for parents and families to take on the role of educator in addition to being a parent and a head of household. But I also know that keeping our kids and community healthy and safe should be a top priority. Secondly, I'm concerned about the Department of Justice findings regarding racial and ability discrimination within the district. All of our students deserve fair treatment and opportunities to succeed. So I want to be a part of the education and increase awareness of the barriers that disadvantage underrepresented students. I will promote equity for our diverse student population while we build upon a district-wide culture that embraces education for all.
Thank you. Mr. Miller?
Thank you. That's a great question. I think first and foremost, the big looming cloud that's been over everybody's heads for so long is obviously COVID-19. The first thing that I would make sure of if I become a member of the board after November will be to make sure that we are safely and responsibly integrating our students back into school and making sure that those parents have enough options to where, you know, if half the district believes that they should be back in school and the other half wants to stay at home, then we need to accommodate that to the best of our ability. We need to make sure that they have enough options in place to where equal learning is still happening among students that are either in the classroom or staying at home. The other thing, and this may be from my military experience, but regardless of the outcome of COVID-19, I'd like to have what we call an after action review. And I want to look back at the past year or so and see what we did, how that process looked, what worked, what didn't work, and just prepare and make sure that there's policies and procedures in place to where if an event like this comes up again, we're not so shocked and thrown off. The other two things, and I know my time is short, I know that we are dealing with budget deficits, and that's going to be an issue for the district in the next coming years across the state. So we need creative ways to make sure that we are supplementing the budget in any way that we can. I know that that's going to be a problem, and I don't want our students, our teachers, our staff to feel like they don't have the tools that they need for our kids to get a good quality education. And then the last thing is I want to make sure that we're using the resources of our city for education. We've got some really great and interesting things in Oroville.
Oh, we lost your sound, Mr. Miller. I think you're on mute there. Oh. Can you unmute yourself there? Mr. Miller? I think you're on mute. There
Can
you
you
go.
hear me now?
Yes.
Was I on mute for that whole thing?
No,
Okay.
just maybe the last 15 seconds.
Okay, I was just saying that I think we have a lot of great things that Oroville offers that we need to expose our children to. Keeping things in home and helping them learn about the area around them and giving them opportunities locally for that.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Barnes?
Okay, I'd like to just start by saying how incredibly impressed I am. You guys are way abreast of the situation that we're getting into. The top three priorities for all of us are definitely fiscal security, the discrimination issue, and I'd like to add to that job security. One of the benefits, one of the advantages that I have that the other two candidates don't have is I have a lot more information, a lot more insight into our fiscal security and the Department of Justice's investigation. I would like to say that we would love to see a lot more training. Not that we haven't done a lot of training. In the last 5 years, we've done tons of training in Sacred Heart and social emotional learning. The middle schoolers, each sixth grader is required to take a social emotional learning course as it stands now. But again, that health and safety issue, getting the kids back in school to subsist that, to bolster that, is going to be extremely important. Moving forward, it's going to be the fiscal security and maintaining and retaining all of the jobs that we can in order to keep our community as vibrant as we possibly can, so that our kiddos can have those opportunities and those connections with our community members. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Miller, you'll be up for the next question, and I realize that you've all touched on this topic, but the question is, what do you believe are the top 3 challenges facing Oroville Elementary School District in the next year?
That's another great question. From what I've heard, we can do better with transparency across the board. I think there need to be more opportunities, and it may be in part due to COVID-19 and people's hesitancies to get out there, but we need to do everything that we can.
Oh, lost you. You're frozen.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we lost you for a little bit.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's okay.
As a board member, we're elected by the people and we represent the voice of the people, and we have to make sure that our voice is for the people. The other 2 things, I think one is definitely the budget. We need to explore creative ways to make sure that we're not losing out on the budget. We need creative thinking. I feel like that's a strength of mine. There are plenty of ways that we can find extra money or, you know, again, do reviews of where we're spending, why we're spending, how much we're spending, how important those things are, and what are those priorities. Because if cuts need to be made, then we need to hear from the teachers what will be the least detrimental thing that we can cut, and just start from the bottom and work our way up. And then the other thing is I truly believe that working with people locally, local businesses, local, we have a great Parks and Recreation department with some, you know, we've got one of the biggest dams in the state right next to us, and I'd like to see our students.
Oh, you've cut out again. Mr. Miller. Yeah. We lost you.
Are you with me?
Yeah, we are.
Okay. I don't know what's happening. It looks good on my end until the end. Technology is fun, huh?
Yeah, patience is our new word.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, you can keep going for a few more seconds.
Sure. I just want to make sure we're using everything we have locally, our local resources, our local parks and recs, the dam that we have, the salmon run that we have. We have so many interesting and unique things about Oroville that I'd like to incorporate into the school system.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Barnes, you are next. We're looking for the top 3 challenges.
I think the first challenge would be maintaining job security for our staff. You know, and curriculum maintenance. Fiscally, in March, when Governor Newsom announced an 18% budget cut across the board, it was quite a shock to the system for everyone. He managed to whittle that down to just under 10%, but still that's not great when we're facing a declining enrollment of 2% year over year. So that every year our budget gets smaller and smaller. Getting kiddos back into school, the biggest challenge will be able to mitigate keeping, job retention versus, keep maintaining the number of educators that's required to take care of the students that we have in existence versus maintaining the curriculum that we have built over the last 5 years and maintaining all of that. We went from 0 computers to 100% computers for every student, even through the pandemic. And plus we were actually helping the high school students with their computer needs. So those are going to be the 2 challenges, is mitigating our ability to subsist as we have become accustomed to planning what we have moving forward.
Thank you. Ms. Nilsson?
Yeah, I believe in the power of collaboration, and I see this as an area of opportunity with our current board and administration. I'm eager to work on strengthening and rebuilding the relationships between the district and staff and parents and our local community. We'll work better as a team. We'll be stronger as a team if we let all voices be heard. And also related to that, I'd like to see a return to more effective communication. Without an emphasis on communication and consensus building in the district, our path is difficult. I want to ensure that all voices are heard and respectfully considered and acted upon to develop solutions and promote civil discourse. Another area of growth that I see is improving board engagement. When I watch the board meetings, I don't see a lot of I don't hear a lot of questions from the board. They might get information elsewhere beforehand. I don't know that part, but during the meetings themselves, I don't hear a lot of questions. And I want to hear people digging deeper to really better understand the decisions that are being made that affect all stakeholders. So I will ask the tough questions. I'll ask the administration to prove that they did their homework and they've considered the full impact of each decision.
Okay, our next question, Ms. Barnes, you will be answering first. The question is, as one of 5 board members responsible for leading Oroville Elementary School District, what leadership experience and qualities would you bring to the job? Ms. Barnes.
Leadership and qualities that I have and will continue to bring to the job are those rigorous questionings. I know it doesn't sound like we question rigorous, but you know, after 5 years of being on the board, we know the answers to a lot of the questions already. Every single year, the board sits down with the administration and we rack our brains. What are we going to focus on this year? What are we going to start that we haven't started before? And when we started, it was, you know, social emotional learning and the digital piece, and then it was updating policies and safety, and all of that served us very well. And having that collaboration that we do have, having that communication that we do have, we have been able to identify some very serious situations that we have had to prepare for in advance, and it served us very well. I intend to continue to do that. I intend to continue with that rigorous feedback. We do have a constant stream of emails going back and forth between administration and board and educators. So yeah, that's what I intend to continue to do. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Nilsson, leadership qualities and experience.
Well, I've already shared my lengthy history as an educator, but I am also a community advocate. I believe in using my privilege to help lift up the underrepresented populations, to let their voices be heard. I am a problem solver. I can take all the pieces of a puzzle and work diligently to figure out how to put them together. And that usually means using my resources and working with a team to take advantage of the strengths and skills that individuals possess to solve problems together. I've also been a small business owner, and I've learned how to listen to my customers and adapt when necessary. I know how to stand my ground when it's important, but I also know how to compromise when it's in the best interest of everyone involved. I know how to research and stay on top of current issues, including leading educational resources and contemporary issues in education.
Thank you. Mr. Miller?
Thank you. That's a good question as well. I am very confident in my history having leadership opportunities. I was the leader in the military. My 4th year serving, I was selected as Soldier of the Year for our regiment because of leadership qualities. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Try again. Try again.
The security company that I worked for, I managed over 27 different security sites in Columbus, Ohio. I had over 300 security officers with my immediate cell phone number, and that doesn't include the clients that we had. My security experience exposed me to physical plant security, personal security, safety protocols and procedures, crisis management, and there's a whole list of things that I got exposed to. It was a great experience, and now I am a mentor at the company I work for in mental health. I help train the new staff coming in and kind of just shadow them and keep an eye on them and make sure they're comfortable. I believe that since the board is a 5-member position, you are not individually a board member with any authority or power. You are collectively, as a board, you are the ones with the power and authority in the district, and you have to be able to work together. You have to be able to, as Sharon alluded, you have to be able to compromise and ask the tough questions and make tough choices. And I can tell you in crisis management, it's difficult keeping a cool, calm, and level head, but I've done it in various situations, and I'm ready to do that for the school board.
Okay, we're at our final question, and let's see, Ms. Barnes, you will actually be answering first, and here's the question. As an elected official, how do you propose to maintain the public's trust in Oroville Elementary School District and its board? Ms. Barnes, you're first.
I intend to continue to be as transparent as humanly possible. Any information that I get that's not already protected by HIPAA, I try to blast it out on Facebook to all of my to all my connections that I may have, and encourage them to pass it on to other people that they may know. I'm always encouraging people to ask me questions. I'm an essential worker, local big box retailer. People come up to me, sometimes I have to change my hat, from the worker to the board member, to the school representative, making sure that no question is undervalued, making sure that no question is ever gone unanswered. Always, if there's a question that I don't know the answer to, hey, here's what I'm going to do. Here's what you can do also. This is what we're going to find the answer together. So making sure that we maintain those community relationships and that constant communication is the best and really the greatest way to maintain trust within our district and to make sure that those stakeholders understand that we are working for them and not the other way around.
Thank you. Mr. Miller?
Thank you very much. I just want to let everybody know that I am one of you. You're going to see me on the streets of Oroville. You're going to see me fishing with my kids on Lake Oroville. You're going to see me at all of the events being that loud, obnoxious dad when my son does anything that's even remotely good or correct. And you're going to see a father who really cares about the education of my own kids personally. And this is my community. This is where we live. This is where we are growing our roots. And you're going to see me on the Little League board. You're going to see me at practice. You're going to see me at the games. And, through the good times and the bad, we've already had to evacuate here on Kelly Ridge. So I'm experiencing Oroville with you guys. This position doesn't change anything. It just puts me on a seat where I would be able to oversee everything that's going on. Make those decisions that are going to be the best for our kids, for my son's classmates, for our future, for the people who are going to be working at that new hospital that's being built. These kids are so important to the future of Oroville, and we have to have passionate board members who really feel every decision that we make and really understands, on every level how it affects our kids, our families, our teachers, our staff members, the people who make those meals in the kitchens that the families can drive around and pick up right now. On every level, you guys are such an integral, important part to our district. And I want to make sure that works for you guys and for myself. I want to make sure we have one of the greatest districts, that we rebuild the reputations on a regional and state level, and that we're just building confidence that everyone has that Oroville City Elementary is going to be the best district for their kids. They don't need to move. They don't need to go anywhere else. They can come here, and we've got you taken care of. We're going to take care of you.
Thank you. Ms. Nilsson?
Yeah, well, similar to what Sandra and Sean shared, my goal is to engage with and listen to our students, our parents, our teachers, our school staff, our community members, to find out what their needs are and what their hopes are for our students. I want to bring these discussions then back to the board so we can better understand what our stakeholders need and make a plan to help our students not only succeed in school, but to thrive as they transition to high school. I want to be open and available I want to be approachable. I feel like I am an approachable person. So people can come to me with their concerns and their questions, and I will listen respectfully, and I will make sure their voices are heard.
Okay, thank you. That concludes our questions. We're now at our 2-minute closing. And Ms. Nilsson, you'll be going first since you went last for the opening. So 2 minutes.
I support protecting our students and our staff as we move through this pandemic. I support learning environments that value a diversity of thoughts, perspectives, and experiences, and honors individual identities. I advocate for marginalized groups. I encourage our staff to continue to grow and learn while they share their passion for learning right alongside with their students. It's my intention to work collaboratively to build and support a school district where staff and students from all backgrounds and perspectives are valued equally and justly, so we can all be proud of the successes that we can achieve together.
Thank you. Ms. Barnes?
Hi, yeah, I just want to thank the League of Women Voters for hosting this event. I want to thank my fellow candidates for attending tonight. I just want to say how I'm incredibly impressed and heartened I am by your wit and your education and your insights. I completely agree that the community is that each individual school site and the district as a whole is a keystone for every community. Yeah, I'm just so pleased with you guys. I really have loved and will continue to love Oroville City Elementary School District moving forward for maintaining its incredible culture of open inclusiveness and passion to educate our students as the very best that they can. My desire to make our school district one of the best in the state is really my true vision, to lay a pathway from preschool all the way up to graduating high school and into college, and make the North State Butte County one of the best educational centers in the arts, in the sciences. That's the true vision here, and that's what I really hope that maybe hopefully soon we can accomplish.
Thank you. Mr. Miller?
Thank you so much, everyone who participated tonight. I really appreciate that. I truly love my country. I love the election process. I love that we all have a voice and we all have a say, and this is that opportunity to do that. This has been a crazy year, and I see my wife working so hard to try to make sure our kids are getting everything and attending all of the classes while I'm at work. And I know how frantic the teachers are scrambling just to make sure that everything is perfect, not just good, but perfect. They're working so hard, and the staff is working so hard. And I know the board's working hard to make sure that we're getting through this experience. And when we come out of it, of course, we'll be stronger. A vote for me is a vote for a dad who loves his kids, who wants to be involved, who's going to be involved no matter what position I'm on, what seat I have. It doesn't matter. I'm always going to be the strongest advocate for my kids. And I have that community mentality where, if my kid goes to your school, goes to your district, if we've hung out before, you're in that group. And I'm going to do everything I can to take care of you, to make sure you're safe, to make sure you're protected, to make sure that you're confident in where your tax dollars are going and how they're being spent, and to make sure that even when those tough decisions need to be made, that we're relaying that we're committed, that we're not backtracking or fumbling, but that we're moving forward. And one of the biggest things for me, having been in security, is I really, really want to emphasize being proactive instead of reactive. I don't want to have to react to everything that happens or react to everything that comes our way, but try to get ahead of those things and look forward and make sure that we have all the policies and procedures in place for any and everything that is going to come up. COVID-19, just the most recent example. So again, thank you, League of Women Voters. I hope we do something like this again. I look forward to serving on the board.
Thank you. Well, this concludes our forum, and thank you to our candidates. Thank you for being terrific participants and also for running. We understand it's a big commitment in so many ways to run for public office. And I just want to reinforce the fact that we really are happy to do anything we can to support Oroville, our Butte County City of Gold, as I call it. To our audience, thank you for participating and watching us. And I would like to say something about Voters Edge. You can see the little poster back there. Voters Edge, for all of you candidates for any office, you should be sure to go to votersedge.org and update your candidate information. And for those voters out there, it is a very comprehensive information piece for all voters, and we really urge you to go and look at it. So on behalf of the League of Women Voters, we thank you and wish you well, and please vote on November 3rd. Thank you.